Why true Gnostics should use authentic Gnostic artifacts. In the modern spiritual marketplace, the term Gnostic is often misused, diluted, and fused with a host of non-Gnostic practices and symbols. From crystal healing to stone circles and Buddhist-style meditation, much of what passes for Gnostic in popular culture has little or nothing to do with the historical Gnostic tradition. True Gnosticism is rooted in specific texts, symbols, and forms of contemplation that emerged from the interaction between Hellenistic philosophy and early Christian thought. A return to authentic Gnostic artifacts and sources ensures fidelity to the original current of knowledge. The core textual heritage of Gnosticism. One of the most important sources of authentic Gnostic teaching is the Nag Hammadi Library, discovered in Egypt in 1945. These Coptic codices preserve a wide range of writings from different Gnostic schools, including Valentinian, Sethian, and other strands. Among these, the Pistis Sophia is a foundational text that recounts the journey, suffering, and redemption of Sophia, the divine figure whose fall and restoration are central to many Gnostic cosmologies. It is not a vague allegory, but a precise theological and cosmological narrative, reflecting the interplay of divine realms and the human struggle for liberation from decay. Another significant text is the Gospel of Judas, which presents Judas Iscariot not as the traitor of mainstream tradition, but as the disciple who understood Jesus' mission and acted on his instructions. This alternative perspective challenges the canonical narrative and illuminates the Gnostic understanding of spiritual knowledge as something hidden from the masses, yet revealed to the initiated. The Acts of Thomas and the Acts of John, although preserved by the Church in edited forms, still contain clearly Gnostic elements. They include hymns of profound mystical symbolism and vivid descriptions of the heavenly realm. These works also integrate Greek philosophical concepts with early Christian visions, reinforcing the intellectual backbone of true Gnostic meditation. The Bruce Codex contains the books of Job, also known as the Gnosis of the Invisible God. This set of texts provides ritual instructions and cosmological maps of the divine realms, revealing how the initiate progresses through the aeons toward ultimate restoration. These writings are not speculative fantasies. They are structured systems of knowledge tied to the ancient Gnostic tradition. Authentic symbols and ritual tools. Just as the texts form the backbone of Gnostic knowledge, certain symbols and ritual objects are central to authentic practice. The Coptic cross, for example, is more than a decorative emblem. It connects directly to the Egyptian Christian heritage that preserved many Gnostic texts. Its design often incorporates intricate geometric patterns reflecting the harmony of the pleroma, the fullness of divine reality. The Ankh, an ancient Egyptian symbol of life, was also adopted in certain Gnostic contexts. It represents not merely physical life, but the immortal life that is put on through knowledge and transformation, echoing Paul's teaching that immortality is something received, not inherent. Abraxas is another central figure in the Gnostic symbolic system. Depicted with the head of a rooster, the body of a human, and legs in the form of serpents, Abraxas embodies the synthesis of multiple divine powers. In the ancient Basilidean tradition, Abraxas was associated with the supreme deity beyond the conventional gods, and his name was inscribed on gemstones worn as protective amulets. These Abraxas stones often carried other sacred inscriptions, including abracadabra in a triangular pattern, believed to ward off illness and evil influences. This formula, far from being a meaningless magical word, was used in Basilidean Gnostic practice and appears in Roman medical and spiritual traditions. Abracadabra, first recorded in the writings of Cerinus Simonicus, physician to the Roman Emperor Caracalla, was not a product of modern stage magic, but a protective charm tied to the Gnostic milieu. True Gnostics today can reclaim its original function by inscribing it in the ancient triangular form, acknowledging its role as part of the authentic heritage rather than dismissing it as superstition. Why New Age substitutes are not Gnostic. The influx of crystal healing, stone circle rituals, and Buddhist meditation into Gnostic circles reflects a modern eclecticism rather than historical continuity. While these practices may have their own merits, they are foreign to the cultural, philosophical, and theological matrix of ancient Gnosticism. True Gnostic meditation is rooted in the methods of Greek philosophy, such as contemplative reasoning, theoria, and dialectic, and in the symbolic meditation found within the Bible and Gnostic scriptures. The aim is not to empty the mind into a formless void, but to actively contemplate the structure of the divine realm, the ascent of the soul body, and the nature of the higher powers. Buddhist meditation seeks dissolution of the self into non-being, while Gnostic contemplation seeks the restoration of the self to its proper place within the pleroma, a realm the true Gnostic understands as corporeal and material, yet wholly divine. This difference in metaphysical aim makes it clear that Buddhist methods, however ancient, are not interchangeable with Gnostic ones. Returning to the true path. For the serious Gnostic, reclaiming authentic texts and symbols is not mere antiquarianism. It is the realignment of practice with its true source. Wearing a modern crystal healing necklace may have personal meaning, but wearing an Abraxas stone inscribed with abracadabra connects one directly to the ancient Basilidean tradition. Reading vague New Age channelings may offer emotional comfort, but studying the Pistis Sophia or the books of Job provides structured, tested pathways to divine knowledge. The Gnostic path is not about gathering every spiritual practice under one umbrella. It is about fidelity to the revelation that came through Jesus and was preserved in the esoteric tradition. This revelation was expressed through specific writings, symbols, and meditative practices rooted in the interaction of biblical tradition and Hellenistic thought. To be a Gnostic in truth is to immerse oneself in these original currents, rejecting the dilution that comes with uncritical blending. Conclusion. True Gnosticism is a living tradition that demands discernment. It is preserved in the Nag Hammadi codices, the Bruce Codex, and other authentic writings, in symbols like the Coptic cross, the ankh, and the Abraxas amulet, and in the disciplined contemplation shaped by Greek philosophy and the Bible. When Gnostics reclaim these authentic tools, they align themselves with the ancient stream of knowledge that leads not to vague mysticism, but to the tangible restoration of the self within the pleroma.